the people from the south, Amici, Peter Obi, and the rest of them, are going to be used by the northerners to snatch power from the south for another 8 years. And at that time, their arithmetic would have come to fruition. The northerners are not looking at since 1960 when Nigeria became independent, and the number of years both military and civilian administrations had spent. When you look at that, the northerners had spent close to 47 years out of about 60 years. Okay. I mean 65. So what is left for the south is just infinitesimal. Right from Gowon, apart from Aguiyi Ironsi, who else from the south, up to Gowon to Muritala, Muritala to Buhari. Obasanjo came in by providence, the same way Jonathan came in by providence. After Obasanjo, Shagari came in. From Shagari, we had Obasanjo again.
Okay. So
now, look at the number of years. But what they are saying in the north, let me analyze this. It's not for us in the studio, for Nigerians to understand the mindset of those people that are coming together. They are just like foxes, and they are trying to outwit themselves. And when you have people like that have mutual distrust in working for them in their midst, what they are heading to perdition. Now, the northerner is not talking about 1960. They are talking about 1999 today. And they are telling you that the northerners have only served 10 out of 26 years as it stands today. And by 2027, it will be 28. So, which means the southerners have utilized 18 years and they only have 10. So, surreptitiously, they are using these people to corner power again. All right, now so that they can level up.
I will stay with you on this, really. And I want to ask, based on the statements accredited to former Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, saying that INEC and the APC are working hand in hand to hijack the next election. Looking at that conversation, do you think voters' confidence going into the next election would have any strength in the next election?
You see, it is better for us to properly situate issues, especially on a national television like this, rather than rely so much on speculation. Myself and my partner here, we have already agreed that these people are aggrieved. And an aggrieved person can lie anytime. So why are you holding on to Amechi's lies?
Now, one of the reasons why I brought up that part of Amechi's conversation as concerning INEC
is on the part of has he not been a past beneficiary of that? Why did he not protest against it? Fantastic. Why was benefiting from it?
Now, Mr. Fadimo, I'm particular about voters' confidence.
We are too lazy and docile for us to wrestle power from these people. Regardless of ADC, SDP, APC, Labour Party, and all the rest, everybody in all the political parties, they are scavengers. Scavenging for themselves. And it's a survivor of the fittest game. Whoever is able to grab power becomes the dominant factor until when that power is wrestled away from him. And that is the lot of Nigerians. So we'll continue to groan and groan and groan because this thing you are talking about, okay, election didn't count. Some people won in places that ordinarily they wouldn't have won in that election. Right. And some people lost in places that it felt it was a stronghold. So how much of what we are saying is we are complicit in what is happening to us as far as politics is concerned in Nigeria. You and I, we know, I have covered elections since 1993. Okay. And I know how people compromise during election day when they see 5,000, 10,000.
Okay. Because of
so when you have people like that, how much of convincing do you want to give that you extract commitment that they will not collect money?
You know, that was why we've actually established all those things that we call the faults that we're finding. You know, we've actually established every other thing we have as our own vice and our own loopholes. And we're asking, How then are we going to fix Nigeria? Only if you're, saying that you're comfortable with the way Nigeria is at this point in time.
Change the value system.
And then you don't think that we need to work on anything.
Change the value system. Ghana has led us in their last election.
How do we change the value system?
Of rice to some communities.
And they rejected
and chased them away. Let's begin to have that here. Then the politicians will now know that they will be returned to office based on what they have done, not how much money they have amassed to bribe the electorate.
These Fulanis and Hausas, they know the sermon to preach during election to get to the emotions of these middle belters. Once it's time for election, they start preaching, oh, we are all northerners, we are all this, we are all that. Listen, without the population of North Central, these Fulanis and Hausa are irrelevant politically in Nigeria. And this is what this North Central have refused to realize. A few of them had actually realized it. The political power that these Fulanis and Hausas enjoy in Nigeria today is courtesy the middle belters. The cultural gloating, the cultural power, and the cultural authority that they are the majority that these Hausas enjoy today is courtesy the middle belters. Because if you go to northern Nigeria and you want to collect data for census, that's population census, you will see these middle belters feeling Hausa as first language. And they have their own indigenous language. They all have their own internal language that they speak, that they use to communicate. If you've been there, you understand what I'm saying. But once the moment that matters approaches, you see them feeling Hausa, giving Hausa people more leverage, more strength. And they are yet to realize these things. When I was in Gombe State, this was my gospel. This was what I was telling them. You can't be flexing, romancing the muscles of these Hausas. And you guys have done it in such a way that everyone in southern Nigeria now thinks that once you approach Kogi, from Kogi to Connaught is Hausa. Because of what you guys are doing. Now, if you look at your screen, this is a comment of someone from Middle Belt, North Central, saying that, oh, they dislike it whenever we associate them with these Fulanis and Hausas and blah, 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 blah. Listen, sir, with all due respect, you Middle Belters have not been able to prove it to the world and other parts of Nigeria that you are different from these Hausas. Because once election approaches, election is a very crucial moment to distinguish yourself, but no, you guys will team up with them. Any candidate they show forth, watch it, that candidate will win. In Kwara, win. In Kogi, win. In Benue, win. In what's it called, Niger. And then the only difference, and I hail those people a lot, Plateau State. That's the reason when I went to Plateau State, I felt like, this one I worry, this one another worry. To be honest with you, I'm just giving you a very honest feedback. When I enter Jos, I just think this one another worry. Because those guys there, they are purely different in attitude, the way they reason, and apart from Jos and maybe Southern Kaduna, you get, apart from Jos and Kaduna, every other place in the North Central, when it comes to behavioral pattern, you guys behave like them. Dressing, you dress like them. Food, all of you, you get. So I'm just being honest with you. So you guys are being used, dumped, and you are still in the game of giving them political power. I was discussing with some of my friends who, are Middle Belters, and I asked them, what have you gained from this parasitic union that you are in with these Fulanis and Hausas? They keep using you. They keep betraying you. And in return, they came to your bushes and they start maiming your people, kidnapping your people, raping, sacking your family, sacking your villages. Because if you look at the home of this herders farmers clash, it's in the North Central. The Fulanis rewarded you with banditry, kidnapping, herders farmers clash, and on. And you are still in this union. I call it parasitic union because you are not getting any positive result from it. Did you know what they replied me? All these middle belts. Did you know what they replied me, my friends? They said, parasitic union, but you give us Abuja, we don't get Abuja. And I said, hold on. If you guys are not thinking properly, is Abuja a commercial center? Number one. Is there any booming industry that can actually employ Nigerians in Abuja or employ middle belters in Abuja? A place where they are busy building estates, unnecessary estate everywhere, and people cannot afford it. Okay, let's go down to the politics. Are middle betters in charge of Abuja? Has any middle betters ever, assumed the position of FCT minister over the years? Even some of the local government chairmen, they are not from the region. From that point, they kept mute. They kept mute. Bam. So, see, these people keep brainwashing you people in the middle belt that you are the same. And I'm not seeing you guys fighting it. If there is you just need to realize that you guys have not been able to prove to other parts of Nigeria and the world at large that you are different from these Fulani and Hausa guys. And they are using you to achieve whatever thing that they want to achieve. When the crucial time of decision making approach, they will say you guys are one. The moment that time is over, everybody to your tent to Israel. And it's not only happening between the Hausa Fulanis and the Middle Belt. Every other language, every other state. When the moment of decision making comes, oh, we are one, we are one. But it's time for reward. They will not select the goons, the cartel, and they will share the reward amongst themselves. For instance, if you go to the east, the Igbos, when crucial time approaches, they are all Igbos. But when the time for reward, they want to share reward, share dividends. You know, all those better Igbos, they are not real Igbos. They are not real. I'm telling you what I have witnessed. No, they like even now. They are not real Igbos. They forget those people. They are not real Igbos. Then go to the west, the Yorubas. You start hearing are they Yorubas? On those states, they are not Yorubas. Are those mixed race? They are not Yorubas. This is who we are. All over the nation, these things abound. Until now, reason this thing when they tell us so, when I go chichichi, when I go chon chon chon, we know they pray, I don't go feel now.
Northerners are crying that Tinubu is using only the Westerners to run his own office the same way Buhari did. Now, because of that, the Northerners are now crying that they want coalition and they want to use Obi as vice, which is unfair. We accepted it before doesn't make, because we accepted it before, doesn't mean that we're going to accept it. Why must it be Southerners? Anytime Southerners are president, then the North will always try to coalesce to remove a certain president. Why? Why must the North always coalesce to remove a certain president? Which I am not in support. If really they want a better country, the Northerners should give their own support to Peter Obi to run as president. This is my own opinion. And I'm not going to withdraw this opinion. This is my own opinion. The Northerners should also support Peter Obi with, if they know if really they love Nigeria so much and they believe that Nigerians are suffering, their people are suffering, they should support Peter Obi that is from South. Because it is when they will support Peter Obi that the South vote will break. Peter Obi will have majority of the Southerners. Peter Obi will have them. Peter Obi will have many supporters from the South, more than Tinubu. Yes, I'm serious. Then if somebody like Erufai should be the vice president to Peter Obi, or Ponkoso should be the vice president to Peter Obi, then the Northerners will also try their own best to make sure they support Peter Obi to secure his own vote. At the end of the day, Tinubu will be removed. You telling me that in the past, a Northerner, the Northerners coalited to remove a Southerner. Then they want to also repeat that to remove a Southerner. That means Northerners has now planned on their own side to be removing certain presidents whenever they are in the office for only just one tenure. They want Southerners now to be running, to be in the office to only one tenure, and them will be in office for 8 years. Now, the same lie they lied to us 2015 that made Buhari become the president. And Buhari said he's going to run for only one tenure. And everybody thought that Buhari is going to fight corruption. You understand? Corruption increased at the end of the day because Buhari made a statement. When the day of his inauguration as the president, he made a statement about people that supported him. You understand? They are the people he knows. That statement was so corrupt. Now, because a Satanan is in that office, that same office, The Northerners now is now crying, running around for coalition to also remove another Southerner. If Northerners love the place that we are today is caused by these Northerners. The position we are, the suffering that we are suffering today is caused by the tribalism of the Northerners. Now, the Northerners are not claiming that they love Nigeria so much that Nigerians are suffering. If they believe, or like what they are saying, that the Nigerians are suffering and they want to rescue Nigerians from the hands of Tinubu, the bad president, like what they are saying, let them all gather their weight and support P2B from the South. And we, the South, will support P2B too to become the president. And at the end of the day, we'll be able to achieve that goal, removing Tinubu from the office to put a better president. Now, if we are thinking that Atiku will go there, we are talking about better country. We are talking about better country. We are talking about leaders that are not corrupt. You can't tell us because you just want to remove Tinubu from office. That is what you are targeting. We are not targeting to remove any president. We are targeting to be a better country, to put in a good leader that will lead us and we will follow. A leader that will solve the problem of corruption in Nigeria. Like P2B said, he said the only way you can reduce corruption in Nigeria is to make sure the people around you are not corrupt. That is what he said. So, having said that, as many, I want you people to share this video, as many that are clamoring for supporting for the support of Atiku as president and Obi as vice, I can never be a party to that. I will campaign against that, because Northerners must not be coaliting all the time to remove a certain president. If what they are making the right choice. They really value Nigeria. They want Nigeria to function in a way it's supposed to be. Let them support the Southern. That's my case. Make sure you share this video and follow Magic Empire. Thank you.
I think what the average Northerner needs is somebody who is from the north and who also understands the other parts of Nigeria and who has been able to build bridges across the rest of the country. This is what the Northerner needs.
All of a sudden, the northern forces united against Tinubu. Somebody like Senator Alin Dume started attacking Tinubu. Somebody like Babagana Zulum, Borno State Governor, started attacking Tinubu. El-Rufai had a fallout with Tinubu. And I think, I am suspecting seriously, that it is about an agenda. I am not sure, but this is what my political mind is telling me. This is what I am seeing with my political third eye. So, don't quote me on this. Certain political power bloc in the north has an agenda that they wanted to execute with the name of Tinubu's government. And El-Rufai was supposed to be in that government to carry out that agenda. I believe that Tinubu was duly informed about that agenda. But as soon as Tinubu won that election, he reneged. And that is why I believe Kashim Shettima, Tinubu's vice, is not happy with Tinubu. El-Rufai is speaking on behalf of certain political elements in the north.
Are you going to agree to have a Southerner lead this coalition so that 8 years of a Southern leadership is not truncated? And the answer was, we want to take our power back. So essentially what you're saying to me as a Southerner from Delta State, from Ontario, from a local government area, is that you're telling me that as a Nigerian, I am not worthy, I'm not deserving to hold power and to hold office in this country. That power belongs to just a segment of this country. That anytime a Southerner holds office in this country, we must do something to truncate that leadership. That was a very demeaning and insulting statement, Shehu. And to think about that, in fact, in that room, that the people who were in that room were people who were part of the past administration who took Nigeria to its knees where we are today, Shehu, to the brink of collapse. What do you want me to say, Shehu? That because I'm desperate for power, I should say, okay, you know what? They want to remove Bola Ahmed Tinubu, power at all costs. Maybe they'll give me some position, and I should agree to something I know that is morally wrong, that's against everything I believe. Their generation stand for only two things: religion, region. That's all they stand for. We were born into it. So should we transmit this sin to our children so I will never speak to a country about meritocracy anymore? Is that who we should continue being in this country? A people who don't care about merit or anything. We should continue being divided along tribal or religious lines in this country. Is that who we are, Shehu? It's not about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It's not about ADC. It's about the future of this country. And we don't need these people who stand rejected, Shehu.
If I ask you, are you privy to the origin of the ADC?
Shehu, I will tell you this. ADC is a party. When they brought me into this party, I met the then chairman, Rafunwosu, and they told me that this party is a party that has ideals, all men being equal before the law, no north, no south, blah, 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 and all the stuff. Shortly after I entered the party, people in the party drew my attention to the fact that this man has been the chairman of the party for the past 18 years. No democratic credentials. And how can you say that you want to advance democracy being in a party that has such credentials? I believe that it was something of the past, and that my being in that party, that we could move that party forward. But sad to say, immediately after he emerged as the presidential flag bearer of the party, the same thing that they had done to all four previous presidential candidates, they did the same thing. They tried to sell my candidacy. They tried to frustrate me from running for office. They started writing and doing press release that I am no longer the presidential candidate of the party because I insisted that I must run for office, Shehu. This is the past of ADC. But Shehu, I tell you this, I met a lot of young Nigerians who had only one ambition. How do we move Nigeria forward? They came into the party in their drove to run for office, only to wake up one day to hear that the party had aligned with other parties and that the party had been sold. And that this party was really not.
What do you mean it has been sold?
That they are in the last election, that they had done some alignment with PDP or with APC, and as such, those people who had paid for forms to run on the platform of ADC, they saw their ambition being truncated.
Let me ask you.
I have seen one Oyedele. He says the prophet. He provides that Tinubu is going 2027. Oga Pastor, prophet, you're a liar. He's not coming back. That your prophecy doesn't work. All prophets, they don't die. You're not a prophet. You're only saying what you want. All the time you go for politics. Saying I prophesy 2027. It's a lie. He's not coming back 2027. We'll flog him down. We are taking somebody from South as a president. Before 12 o'clock, Oga, you are a goner. Bye-bye.
When did they make some people they feel say, now them get Nigeria? When did they make some people they feel say, now them be the kingmaker for this country? That is one. Second, why some people they feel say, they must be president of this country and they get edge over every other tribe or every other region for this country? And this takes me to this question. If President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is who people really say he is, then why would they not support him to become the president? Because they felt maybe they can manipulate him. Or perhaps they felt maybe it will dance to their tune. Them ganging up together against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, it is because they know that this man is too strong for them to control. Honestly. The only thing I just have to tell the youth of this country is, this is the time for us to choose who we really want as a president. Now the time for us to choose the right leader where we need. I'm not saying but President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the best. But come to think of it, the Fulanis, the Hausas, to kick against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is because he's not really giving them what they want. And to be a president of this country, to serve people, you don't have to be the president of some ethnic group. You must be the president of the whole country, which I believe President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is working in that direction. Do not be carried away with the lies people are carrying about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Because when I sit down, I can tell you for free that there is no good news, not even one good news, that people are talking about this man. But he has performed more than our former presidents just in the space of 2 years. Why this hate? Why this hate about this man? I'm talking to the youth. Please, do not be deceived. Do not be deceived by the propaganda, by the fake news circulating about this man. When Jesus Christ come, nobody really believe him. Even from the own tribe. After he depart finish, when people come, they know say yes. Now Messiah. Some more, not be everybody. Now so this man be. We don't want to suffer anything at all for this country. But we want the best to happen to us. We want to eat our cake and still have the cake in our hands, which is not possible. 2027 is the right time for us to choose, and choose right. Who will follow? As for me, I stand with President Tinubu. I don't know about you. And that is why I'm making this video, for you to choose very wisely, so that we will not drag ourselves back anymore. Let this country move forward by deciding who we will choose in 2027.
Northern Nigeria love lies. Kai, these guys, they love lies. And them don't too they comfortable with the lies to the extent they can't dislike the truth. They don't use the hear truth. When they see somebody, when they tell them truth, then go vent their dislike and their anger on that person. Instead of cross-checking whether waiting this person they talk now true. You see, this issue of loving lies is not an issue that is peculiar to Northern Nigeria alone. The entire Nigeria, we Nigerians, we love lies. But you see, Northern Nigeria, it's top there, it's topping the list. You see, we are in a country that is busy lying to us politically. They lie to us religiously. They lie to us culturally. They lie to us socially. I think some of the lies when me I got to unlearn in my early life was, if you drink coconut water, you know go no book. If you eat egg, it will make you start to steal. All these little lies where they tell us. Now, when I started this series of exposing lies and truth, Northerners started saying all manners of lies. Oh, they control Nigeria. I told you, you don't control nothing. You don't own jack. You don't own nothing. Oh, they decide who become the president. For real? Not. You decide who becomes the president. How come the numerous times when Muhammadu Buhari run for presidency, how come only not Sophie deliver him? How come wait until get sense say make form alliance with Western Nigeria before fit deliver him? How come Atiku don dey pursue? How come never fit deliver Atiku? Kwankwaso don dey pursue. How come never fit deliver Kwankwaso? We made the majority voting strength. Who tell you? You see, even when you know say the vote one they produce from North na lie, you still choose to believe that lie. If una truly get the voting strength of Nigeria, once election don dey come, una for not they run, they go Niger. They go, they bring una like minds, una Fulani brothers and all of una. May they enter the country. May they come make up una numbers. If una actually get voting strength, I'm talking to Northerners now, una for not infiltrate our INEC to the point that only one Northerner they get up to 2-3 voters card. If una actually get voting strength, una not going to allow minors, little children, queue up, mamas and everything, they count all of them as voters. We know all of these things. Video evidences are all over the place. And in all of this, you still choose to believe, say not. They produce majority voters. And some of these lies, they don't eat into Southern Nigeria to the point that a lot of Southerners, they believe these lies. Because when a lie has been perpetuated for so long, it tends to assume the position of truth. But it's not true. And because of these numerous lies where they fly all over the place, that is the reason I choose not to believe the population head count when our national population census, that commission, they announce all over the place. Lies all over the place. A country that have lied to us politically, religiously, culturally, and otherwise, virtually everything we've been told, lies. This is the reason I don't believe them, because these Northerners, they know the implication, the serious implication that they will face if they announce their exact population figures. They know the implication. So they will infiltrate every institution to make sure that they inflate their numbers. Do you understand it? Now let's face reality that is facing us. If you've been to the North, you realize that in their villages and cities, Southerners make a huge percent of their population. Right? When I mean, like, take for instance now, how many Igbos they Kano State? Their most populous city. How many Yorubas they Kano State? Now, turn the mathematics or turn the table around. How many Northerners they for Port Harcourt? How many Northerners they Lagos? How many Northerners they Oka? How many Northerners they Asaba? How many Northerners they Akwa Ibom? And that is Uyo. Now, go to the villages. Now, you now realize that even in their northern communities, we still make a reasonable amount of the numbers. They come to the south, you don't find them anywhere. Now, talk about Nigerians who are in diaspora. Nigerians that are in China, Nigerians in UK, Nigerians in Italy, Nigerians. So you want to, you can't even quantify it. Do you understand? Now, let's talk about the languages. We have 3 major languages in the country, right? 3 major languages with huge population. Only one is concentrated in the north. 2 are in the south. Now, if you check top 20, you will discover that southern languages top the list far better than northern languages. How come all of these things are indicating that south is leading, but once it comes to population head count, automatically, miraculously, north will top the list? How come? These are some of the things that we should be asking ourselves. These are some of the parameters and rubrics we should use to judge some of these things, not those fraudulent things that your National Population Commission, whatever they are called, are busy releasing all over the place, hyping and over-bloating, or inflating figures unnecessarily. The reason we should use things that we are seeing every day, things that are informing us every day to judge these figures, is because Nigeria as a country, the institutions in Nigeria have been lying to us from time immemorial, day in, day out. Politicians lie, clergymen lie, traditional rulers lie, even our parents lie. Liars all over the place. And then which day here, another person dropped a comment and said that, oh, I'm just talking, man, I don't make not verse, so if not, I know that I'm not the feed the nation, not is feeding the nation. My next video will be on not feeding the nation. We will discuss these things and get to know the truth. Until you employ your brain to reason this to someone, they tell you so, you go chi, you go chon. We know they pray, I don't go fit you.
We Northerners always think about Nigeria more than other parts of the country. This is simply because we are multi-ethnic and multi-religious. There is no any other ethnic group in the Southwest other than Yoruba. There is no any other ethnic group in the Southwest other than Igbo. So that's why they identify themselves as Igbo nation, Yoruba nation, whatever nation they call themselves. But in the north, what are you going? You can only identify yourself as a northerner because we are multi-ethnic and multi-religious. Multi-ethnic and multi-religious. When you come to you give an example of grazing or open grazing. One, I am a manufacturer of livestock feeds, from cattle to poultry. 2, I have more than 1,000 heads of cattle. They have never moved out of one location. So it's simply introducing modern methods of looking after our livestock. No more, no less.
What is your position with the Fulanis?
I feel resisting Tinubu's leadership not on the basis of policy or performance, but simply because he is not from the north is unfair. This regional bias, if true, not only undermines Nigeria's democratic fabric, but also signals a dangerous return to identity politics that has plagued the nation for decades. The idea that the presidency must remain in the north, or that only a northern leader can serve the interests of all Nigerians, is both undemocratic and divisive. Nigeria is a multi-ethnic, multi-regional nation, and power rotation was established to foster unity and balance. The north has produced more presidents than any other region in Nigeria's history. Now, if power is expected or power is always expected to return there, He sends a message that national leadership is a birthright rather than a democratic choice based on merit, vision, and competence. So instead of rejecting Tinubu's administration just because he's a southern leader, I feel the North and every other person should focus on holding any government accountable based on performance, inclusivity, and national development. Any opposition that is rooted in regionalism weakens democracy and fosters disunity. Nigeria cannot afford to keep recycling ethnic sentiments at the expense of national progress. If the North wants a president in future elections, it must be through democratic persuasion, not resistance to southern leadership. The country deserves a united front to address insecurity, poverty and unemployment, not a divided house that is being ruled by narrow regional interests. Well, if today is your first time visiting our channel, please kindly like, share and subscribe.